And we see that Jeff Bodine is closing up on this lead too. There we see Scott Lagsty and Darrell Waltrip, and behind them is Dennis Setzer and Toby Butler. And Darrell is just having a lot of trouble with that Western Auto truck.
Boy, everybody's going by. That truck was qualified 4th, but Darrell hadn't been able to hang on to anything. There goes Toby Butler by on the bottom, and John Nemechek will be next along with Pirelli. Darrell's definitely struggling. Ernie runs her in deep. And then Sprague comes right up to challenge. Let him know he's there.
Sprague has to be a little bit careful because I don't think it would be a good idea to hit Ernie Irvin the first race back. Do you?
I wouldn't get with a truck like that because it was me. But Sprague's a racer. He's getting up there letting him know he's there. He wants to try to force a mistake, see what Ernie's made of. You know, this guy's been out 13 months. Ought to be an easy mark. Ought to be able to just drive right by this guy. He's all out of practice.
And as I said at Richmond, Jack Sprague would like to drive this truck next year in 1996. I don't think the driver has been selected, and obviously Jack Sprague would like for it to be him if he could pass Ernie, take the lead, and win this race.
Get the owner's attention.
He would certainly get Rick Hendrick's attention.
And so the battle continues up front, and it continues a big ways in front of the rest of the field as Ernie Irvin in his return to competition has pulled away and taken Jack Sprague with him. Bodine, though, is broken loose and is now running 3rd and gaining. Here's the battle. This is the best race for position, and this would be for 6th with Kenny Schrader showing the way to Mike Bliss for the moment. And Kenny Wallace turning in another great run.
And the crew chief for Mike Bliss in 1996 will be Barry Dodson. And Dodson is up there with him this week, and we can see that Bliss is pulled up on the inside of Schrader, trying to take that position away.
And I'd be tempted to give it to him as he gets a fender in front with the inside preferred line here at North Wilkes. Mike Bliss is going to be a great stock car racer in my estimation. Having seen him on Thunder here on ESPN come up through the open wheel ranks a la Jeff Gordon. And now with the experience of Barry Dodson, he's going to have a great guy to learn from because Dodson knows a lot about this business. Dodson working for him today, will not go to the West Coast with him, but will come back next year as the full season crew chief on the truck in which you are riding right now.
Truck is owned by Jim Smith out of California. Want to move into a shop down in Mooresville, North Carolina.
Yes, that's the same Jim Smith that won the Baja 500 last year.
And we see Butch Miller going by the 3 truck of Mike Skinner, taking that spot away.
This is the first time since, boy, I don't remember when, but we've seen Skinner go backward this way. He has now slipped to 6th in the running order. And here is the move for the lead. Sprague goes to the inside, the blind side on Ernie Irvin, and drives by to take the lead, and I don't think he touched it. And meanwhile, Bodine is right there. Ernie wants to retaliate, looking to the inside as they come back to through. Good race. Bodine there to make it a 3-truck battle and close it on the traffic. This is going to get fun in a hood.
Here comes Ernie again, looking on the inside. Bodine on the outside.
Now, the other thing that has been questioned is Ernie's depth perception. Racing with one eye. He certainly didn't have any trouble figuring out where that nose was right then. Problem he's got now is Bodine. He's coming by on the inside. Drops Irvin to 3rd as they catch the traffic.
And some heavy traffic in front of these trucks.
There's Ernie's view of the dilemma. He has Bodine immediately in front of him. Sprague in front of Bodine, and then a gaggle of about-to-be-lapped trucks. Early running of the Lowe's 150, North Wilkesboro, the 5/8 mile oval in what some call God's country here in North Carolina. They're around Walker Evans on the outside, now trying to move their way past Rodney Combs Jr. They do so safely.
Steve Portingay, the 83, Michael Dawkins in 64. Both those trucks going a lap down. Here comes Portingay, 3 abreast. No contact there.
Ernie was looking down on the inside, thinking that the lap trucks might open up some sort of a lane. Didn't happen. He settled back into 3rd. Portingay already has a little damage on the right rear. We'll take a break with Jack Sprague leading the Lowe's 150.
And Jeff Bodine takes the lead as we come back.
Just back here at North Wilkesboro and in traffic, Bodine found a way to thread his way past Sprague. Now Irvin is trying to do likewise in the yellow truck on the bottom, and he's got the spot. Ernie is up to second. The 7 is your leader. Everybody else in that pack is a lapper.
Oh,
and look at Irvin.
Ernie and Portingate make some contact.
Well, if Ernie needed a traffic test, he just had it. I'd give him a pretty good mark. He gained a position.
An excellent mark. There we see Darrell Waltrip, and now Portingate and Ernie once again almost getting together.
Darrell Lowe on the bottom. They went 3 wide for a moment as Sprague tried to retaliate against Irvin, but there was nothing there. Ernie was already past him. And now they have cleared that huge gaggle of trucks and for a moment have breathing space. But Ernie handled that very, very well. Actually gained a position in the traffic jam. Sprague, the big loser, he caught that traffic leading and came out third.
And we see that the white truck right behind Portingate is Todd Bodine. So while they were closing up on that traffic, Bodine was able to close right back up.
Reagan led only the second time this year. He led 3 laps earlier at Louisville. Had caught and passed Ernie Irvin, but now Jeff Bodine has again emerged, as he has in the last 2 races here on ESPN, as the truck to beat.
Man.
Meanwhile, looky here, the black 3 is way back in the
and Ernie Irvin trying to go by Bodine for the lead. Hey, here
Bodine
comes
gave him a
Sprague
lot of
with it.
room. Bodine gave him a lot of room. Sprague sees that as an opportunity, dives into the gap. Bodine says, wait a minute, I'm not feeling that generous. I'm going to race you for second. And that's what you see out the rear deck. There's the look from Ernie Irvin's tailgate. Bodine closes back in.
We see Bill Sedgwick on the outside of Ernie.
Bill Sedgwick a lap down. Now,
yes.
There's a measure of what kind of difficulty some of these guys have had with North Wilkesboro. Look at this. Well, Skinner said he was going to race Joe Ruttman. That's exactly what's happened. I don't think this is strategy. Ruttman goes by Skinner on the inside. That's for 9th spot. And Ernie, I got to believe, as Ernie Irvin continues to battle for the lead, that Skinner does not want to be racing Ruttman.
And there we see Jeff Bodine trying to take the lead back from Ernie. And here comes Sprague.
And they both got him. A lead-swapping battle as the NASCAR Craftsman SuperTrucks come to the 5/8 mile at North Wilkesboro. In the middle of that war is Ernie Irvin making his return to racing. Bodine leads it. Sprague is second. Irvin now running in third as they hit turn 3, and closing on that battle is the 61 of Todd Bodine. Meanwhile, Joe Ruttman from 17th starting spot has climbed to 7th, and in the process has passed the pole sitter Mike Skinner, who has slid to 8th.
And we see Kenny Wallace has been able to get by Mike Bliss. That's Kenny in the Red Dog Ford, and Mike Bliss in Ultra Wheels Ford. That's not rain, folks. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're not going to have any of that this weekend. Was Kenny Wallace impressive last week at Martinsville, or what? From dead last to 4th. It was incredible.
And was involved in the crash, had to make a pit stop, and I started at the back another time as well.
Let's go trackside to Marty Reed.
Well, guys, you were talking about Mike Bliss, and I know he's running right now in that battle that you're talking about. And before the race, I asked him, I said, what effect has Barry Dodson had so far? He says, well, I tell you what, he's brought a confidence factor to the team that we didn't have, and there is definite control. He comes in, he tells you exactly what he wants. He says there is a direction and a purpose, and we are going to go towards the front.
Got a report that Bob Strait has trouble. Truck is smoking.
He's been in the pits. He was in just a few laps ago, and he has been slow. So, and there's someone who's getting the black flag. That was the 37 truck that was getting the black flag, but he's in, and we see here goes Jeff Bodine trying to get by. That's Mike Wallace. He goes by. Samuel Swindell right in front. Sprague just hoping for an opening. And Ernie.
Swindell doing a doubleheader today, racing this afternoon here in the SuperTruck division. Then he'll hop the plane and fly to Williams Grove to race the sprint car tonight. Let's see how much effort he'll make here to stay on the lead lap as the leader Bodine is there to press him. Here is Bliss coming up the inside to try to reclaim full spot, and does, taking it away from Kenny Wallace.
And Butch Miller on the inside trying to take the spot away into Rebesta's truck. He does. He has the spot.
I'm going to correct that. That is 5th spot. 5th, 6th, and 7th. The battle we're watching. You're riding in the 5th place truck as Bodine, Sprague, Irvin, and Todd Bodine are your top 4. Run you on back a little further through the field as we watch the leaders. Still a tight trio with Bodine showing the way. I get the sense that races, and for a couple won one yet.
And in Richmond, he got beat by a foot, and at Martinsville, he had a crash on the last corner of the last lap. So you're right. He could have 2 wins easily, but he has 0. There was Ernest Winslow in the 68, and I guess that's Dirk Stevens in 78. And Ernie goes by, Sprague goes by. All 3 leaders able to get by.
They've opened a bit more separation now over Todd Bodine, who momentarily is hung up in that traffic, as Jeff leads them off turn 4 to put another lap in the book. 150 the distance. They'll break at 76 and 74 laps and take an intermission in the middle. Here you see Butch Miller in the number 98, 4th ranked in the point standings.
And Joe Ruttman has cost Kenny Wallace. So Ruttman's got a great run going.
He's pretty serious about this deal today for sure. He having been overshadowed a bit by there.
Well, I've been keeping my eye on Joe Ruttman and Mike Skinner, and Ruttman is pulling away from Skinner. Now, we talked to the team, Richard Childress Racing. The guys say he has not said anything wrong is with the truck. We go over to Joe Ruttman's team. They say everything is fine. The truck is hooked up and pulling away at this point. I don't know if Skinner's team's just sort of not telling us, or if maybe Mike's just sort of biding his time. But I'll tell you what, he is losing ground every lap, and that I don't think is part of the game plan.
That sure doesn't look like the strategy, the Skinner that we've seen all year long, does it? He's always been a front guy.
But don't forget, in these truck races, we've got a break, and they can work on the truck 7-8 minutes, and a lot of work can be done. It's really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what Ernie Irvan tells his crew to do. Just how much is Ernie back? Can he feel exactly what he needs to do to that truck at halfway?
Has a very interesting conversation with Larry McReynolds on that subject that we'll share with you when we come back. Jeff Bodine shows the way in the Lowe's 150.